welcome back to the channel. Please subscribe down below, all the good stuff, yada yada. I am purposely being very short and concise with this intro because today I'm going to be attempting to review 100 Netflix horror movies in 10 minutes or less. Now I know I'm coming at you pretty fast and I'm sure you have a couple of questions, like will the reviews be thorough? No, not even close. Will the ratings be contradictory? Almost certainly and probably immediately. Why am I doing this? No good reason at all, I just like chaos. And when does the 10-minute clock start? Right now. First off, Little Evil. Nothing revolutionary, but a fun enough family horror comedy. Slender Man. Feels unfinished, looks way too dark, was made 10 years too late. The Witch. 2 V's in the title and 2 thumbs up from me. Creep. One of the scariest, most unnerving movies on Netflix. Creep 2 isn't as good as number 1, but I appreciated the unique direction it went in. The Grudge overcomplicated what should have been a very simple horror story. Hush, a better home invasion movie than The Strangers, one of Mike Flanagan's best. The Silence, a blatant Quiet Place ripoff that's much, much worse. In the Tallgrass, not a perfect movie, but a very interesting premise and a fun Patrick Wilson performance. Final Destination 3. This is the one with the tanning bed death. Not the worst of the franchise, it's alright. Final Destination 5. The best Final Destination movie, fully leans into the silliness of the premise, 5 out of 10. Us. Great premise, great actors, great director, really disappointing execution. Haunting of Connecticut, Ghosts of Georgia. Has the world record for most jump scares in a movie, no other value beyond that. Invisible Man. Incredibly suspenseful, one of my favorites from the decade so far. Cabin in the Woods. A gift from the god for horror fans. I want a sequel or a prequel more than anything. 30 Days a Night. Probably the scariest vampire movie, loved the isolated winter setting. Countdown. A dumb movie about an evil phone app. The Thing. A bad remake of the best remake of all time. Halloween. Not a Halloween movie or a good movie, 3 out of 10. Ma. Works better as an unintentional comedy than a horror movie. The Boy. A premise that has been done before and better, The Boy 2. Somewhat made me appreciate the first Boy movie. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. An awesome horror movie for teens with great monsters and scares. Oculus. Wildly creative and launched Mike Flanagan's career. 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Watch my full review, but in short, this movie is shite. Saw 3. The last time a Saw movie wasn't totally ridiculous. Saw 6. Not very good, but I like the insurance company angle. Insidious. The movie that got me into horror and still scares the shit out of me. Insidious 2. Some interesting scares, but doesn't match the original. Insidious 3. Creepy demons, some good jumps, pretty forgettable overall. Insidious 4. The only good thing about this is the key hands demon. The Blair Witch Project. Somehow made millions of people afraid of rocks, deserves its status as a classic. Eli. Decent mystery, silly at times, I thought the ending was kinda cool. Under the Shadow. It has a 99% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and that score is justified. Polaroid. This has a 0% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and that score is also justified. Hole in the Ground. Pretty interesting Irish folklore, cool creatures, overall underrated. Child's Play. Gets way too much hate, has some good kills, and a bad script. Black Christmas. Gets a proper amount of hate, not even a Black Christmas movie. The Possession of Hannah Grace. If you want to see this premise done right, just check out Autopsy of Jane Doe. Sinister. One of the scariest movies of the last 20 years, the lawnmower scene still haunts me. Saint Maud. Well shot, well made, ending gave me legitimate goosebumps. His House. A haunted house movie with a strong story and social commentary. Girl on the Third Floor. I'm glad CM Punk returned to wrestling instead of making these crap movies. Jeepers Creepers 3. The only thing more offensive than this movie is the fact that the director is a legitimate pedophile. Death of Me. I'm positive I've seen this and I can't remember a single second of it. Gerald's Game. This is disturbing, tense, and twisted and I love it. Midsummer. Such a strong opening, looks incredible, instant classic, 8 out of 10. Hereditary. This is what I tell people is my favorite horror movie. Evil Dead. This is actually my favorite horror movie. Apostle, a slow, disturbing cult movie that is worth a watch. Escape Room, it's Saw for kids, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, good kills, dumb people, a fun slasher. Army of the Dead, what's with all the shallow focus? Also pretty boring for a zombie heist movie, I couldn't even finish it. C to Chucky. This movie shut down the franchise for a full decade and probably for good reason. Fantasy Island, a horror remake of a 70s sitcom. Why? Just why? Fear Street Part 1, a fun 90s set slasher. Fear Street Part 2, a more flawed but still alright camp set slasher. There's Someone Inside Your House, another enjoyable new slasher. Netflix, please just make more slashers. The Hunt. Political affiliations aside, this just isn't very good or creative. Run. Extremely tense with a weak ending. Don't Listen. Nothing groundbreaking, but a decent scare fest. The Babysitter. Great dialogue, goofy characters, lots of fun to watch. Scary Movie. Better than you remember, actually some pretty funny, well-written jokes. Scary Movie 2. Way worse than you remember, hard to get through. Knock Knock. I promise you will have a blast watching this. 1BR. A pretty whatever cult thriller. Extraterrestrial. One of the few actually decent alien horror movies. Malevolent. Pretty boring and uninspired. Florence Pugh is somehow in this. Veronica. Way too overhyped, far from the scariest movie ever. Relic. Solid metaphor horror movie similar to Babadook or It Follows. Tao. The script is better than the execution. I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. An extreme slow burn with one great scare. Mary. Gary Oldman and Emily Mortimer deserve way better than this shit. Choose or Die. Choose not to watch this. The Devil's Rejects. Wasn't for me, but I get the appeal. Don't Breathe. Your butthole will be clenched for 90 minutes. Death Note. It's better to forget this even exists. 2. It's Human Centipede, but not gross and with an actual story. Willy's Wonderland. Wasted Nick Cage by making him mute. The Final Girls. 80s slasher throwback. Fans of Tucker and Dale will like this. He Never Died. Henry Rollins is awesome and this movie is awesome. My Teacher, My Obsession. This movie is hilariously bad, but will always hold a special place in my heart. Open House. I can't say enough bad things about this movie. P2, an enjoyable cat and mouse thriller set in a parking garage. Unhinged, an unenjoyable thriller set in traffic. Circle, a really engaging feature-length Black Mirror episode. No One Gets Out Alive, generic title but creative elements. 1922, a slow, bleak, and menacing Stephen King adaptation. Shutter Island, book was better but a solid thriller with a great ending. Girls with Balls, great title, bad movie, 3 out of 10. Bird Box. Something, watch this movie with a blindfold. Awake. It's like Bird Box, but somehow worse. Brightburn. Intriguing premise, gnarly kills, wish it was executed slightly better. The Ritual. Amazing creature design, strong characters, awesome horror movie, 8 out of 10. Blood Red Sky. Vampires meets Air Force One, what's not to like? Zombieland Double Tap. Doesn't reach the highs of number 1, it's still fine. The Shallows. Probably my favorite shark movie of this century. Things Seen and Heard. This movie bored me to tears. The Call, very tense and creative foreign horror. And last, number 100, Demonic. This looks like a PS2 game and feels like it was written by someone with a concussion. Alright, there are 100 short reviews for 100 horror movies on Netflix. Again, absolutely no idea why I decided to do this, but what's done is done. Since I did put in all that work, the least you could do is comment down below and respond to all 100 reviews and let me know your thoughts. Or at the very least, comment down below and pick which rating you disagreed with the most. Also, if you enjoyed this dumb video idea, please comment down below letting me know. Let me know if you'd like to see me do the same thing with 100 Shudder movies, 100 movies on Amazon Prime, 100 movies on Tubi, 100 horror movies on Disney+. I don't actually know if Disney+ has 100 horror movies. I know they have like Hills Have Eyes, The Fly, Aliens, but I'll see what I can do. Let me know in the comments if you actually enjoyed this type of video, and I'll see if I can find 100 horror movies on Disney. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Horror Flicks with Nick. Twice a week I post horror reviews, commentaries, and short recommendations for horror movies you should watch on Netflix and other streaming services. Thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you all back next week when I'll be ranking every horror movie ever made alphabetically.